So let's talk about this thing. This giant Batcave that I bought. 25 bucks, man. They had it at Walmart. It's on clearance. It was on some end cap. And I was like, you know what? I have no use for something like this. But I'm seeing a lot of different things in it that I'm like, maybe I do have use for it. You got a lot of pretty awesome, like, sculpting in here. A few different, like, display, I don't know, pieces and stuff that I could definitely repaint, make them pop up, make them look a little nice. You know what I'm saying? And, honestly, it has a lot of different little elements that I could repaint. You got like a kind of a sci-fi environment in there. You know, more of the same over here. You have like definite Batcave things. Like you got a big green jail cell. You got some rocks and, you know, some of these little cardboard insert things that just kind of fill out the scenery. That's got Dragon Ball Z written all over it. And then, you know, all these other little gimmicky things, you know, you got here these, I don't know, all this stuff that kind of moves around. You can find a use for this in some form or fashion, I'm sure. But, you know, this thing for 25 bucks, I don't know, I think it's pretty badass. As a kid, I would have definitely loved something like this. Got a little bat signal up there. You can see the DC Universe Mattel Batman stood atop here. So, I mean, obviously scale-wise, you'll be able to tell that this basically works with whatever 6-inch figures you got. And, I don't know, just a lot of cool options that I'm seeing here. But yeah, to give you just the scope of how big this thing is. That's a 6-inch figure. That's just literally the top layer right there. And then you got 3 layers beneath it. So, I don't know, man. I dig it. Pretty cool. And again, 25 bucks, so how could I go wrong, right? A couple new things happening with Star Wars, too. Got the new Darth Vader, which is technically the original version of Darth Vader from A New Hope / Rogue One. A little different detailing on the gloves, as you'll see here, compared to the earlier figures. And a one-piece head sculpt. Doesn't have the chain around the neck, but I don't recall him having it in A New Hope. He's got like a little bigger chest box than the older version of the figure had, which is accurate to the movie. But the cape on this one is really nice. Like, it's a much fuller, thicker cape than this one had. This is actually just a hybrid. This is the original Darth Vader that they made in the Black Series with the removable helmet, but I took the helmet off, and, well, I took the whole head off, and I repainted that, what was it, the Emperor's Wrath one? Yeah, there we go. I repainted that all black and put it on, because I really did not like the way that helmet looked, so I just said, screw it, I'm going to do my own. But also picked up another Stormtrooper, and I've got yet another one coming in the mail at some point from Amazon, and my friend picked up a Admiral Thrawn for me, so I was able to snag that off of him the other night. Did a bit of bowling and beers and food and stuff. Always a good time. But yeah, I like the original A New Hope Vader. Something about the matte on the black as opposed to like the gloss of this. Well, don't take this for gospel because that's the one I repainted. But something about the matte black I really like. And he's got kind of a reddish tint to his eyes too, which I believe the original removable helmet one had. But I don't know. I dig it. I really like it. Actually, the sticker sheet for this thing actually is pretty badass too. I mean, I can see a lot of use for some of these labels. Anybody else that like has a high quality scanner can just drop this right on your scanner and then print these onto a bunch of label sheets, and you're going to be able to decorate a lot of little background tech type stuff on any diorama you come up with. I will say that if your intention is to get this and like piece it out or repaint it or whatever, if you plan on taking it apart, heed my words. There's this green cage. You're going to need to really work on dremeling down or filing down or whatever your technique is, these little inserts, because this is a bitch to get out. So, you know, if you want to disassemble it, like look, I had to get the Dremel really going. I don't know if it'll focus up, but I mean, it's a really nicely sculpted piece, but I mean, just good luck getting it out of the ceiling when you put it in. So, there's that. And then also, this thing, the main elevator shaft, I guess, the stand on the bottom, these things are tough to get out once you put them in. So just when you know, if you want to repaint it or if you want to take it apart or repurpose any of this, just make sure that before you put it together, you file these things down a little bit. Don't make the same mistake I did. But other than that, for 25 bucks, I see a lot of potential with this thing. I think it's going to be a good time repurposing some of these things, and especially some of these, I don't know, sci-fi looking beams and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. And last but not least, If you plan on getting this thing back in the box, good luck, because I can't do it. I got those big, bulky things that don't fit in there. I mean, I swear they were all in there when I bought it. I don't know. Alright, incoming. Today, Scouter Vegeta showed up. This is the version 2.0 from SH Figure Arts. Stood aside my version 1 that I got many, many moons ago. Now, basically, this is just an upgraded version of the original release. He comes with pretty much all the same alternate hands, all the same alternate faces, the swap-out tail. Basically, any like body part is going to be pretty much the same across the board. He has the same, also like the, he comes with another head where you can't plug the Scouter in, so that way you're able to plug that black-haired head onto the new Super Saiyan body if you want, and just have kind of like a powered-down Vegeta. That's up to you, though, whatever you want. He also features the 2.0 body type, so largely as far as articulation goes, my comparisons between these two figures are going to be pretty similar to when I compared the Super Saiyan versions in an earlier video. Like, he's got the torso articulation that's a little better. The knee, or not the knee, I'm sorry, the leg joints are definitely better done on this one. I don't think you get quite the same range of motion forward to back, but, I mean, a huge problem with this Vegeta is he couldn't stand up because of his leg joints being so loose. So, I mean, I had to repair mine doing the super glue trick on the legs. So, I mean, that's why he's able to stand now and he's fine. But, I mean, notoriously, he would fall over all the time. But this one corrects that issue. Still a couple advantages to the original version, though. As you can see, the paint on the version 1 just absolutely slaughters the paint on the new version. The shading, all the lines painted onto the armor, like all the different little details that you get. I mean, this is just a better looking figure than this one, in my opinion. Also, this one came with a flight stand and a couple of blast effects too. So, I mean, when I got it, it was like, you know, 50, 55 bucks or whatever. And this one is running 55 bucks now. So, for, you know, for the price, let's say retail price, obviously this one is going for a lot more now. But if you're spending the same amount of money, you're getting way more bang for your buck with the version 1 than you are with the new one. That said, if you missed the version 1, the new one is a very nice figure. I don't have anything really bad to say about it, especially when you consider that Dragon Ball Z was kind of notorious in those early days for, like, different animation studios making each episode. So, like, you know, characters would vary pretty wildly, like, from episode to episode. They just look totally different. So, you know, this doesn't bother me that they're aesthetically different looking figures, and I got a place in my heart for both of them. If I had to pick just one, though, I'm going with the original 10 times out of 10. I really still like this figure a lot. I may be biased because this is the first SH Figure Arts Dragon Ball Z figure. This might actually be the first SH Figure Arts anything I ever bought. I do like that they added detail in the Scouter. That comes with a, like, activated Scouter, basically, so that he has, like, the little readouts printed on there. That's really cool. But yeah, like I said, you know, if you missed this version of the figure, get this one. You won't regret it. It's not a bad figure at all. I just prefer this one still. They got Nappa coming out pretty soon, so I'm going to be able to stand the new one alongside the Nappa figure. And I'm thinking this one will probably go pretty well with the Nappa statue that I got up here, because he's painted a lot more detailed also. So, I mean, the two of them I think will look better together. And then the version 2 will look good with the articulated Nappa. I'm brainstorming. Don't mind me. Some sweet wall art. Yeah, that's right. Godzilla facing the tidal wave. I know y'all have seen that painting before, but not the Godzilla version. Goes pretty good with my Godzilla PS3 video game thing, or PS4 or whatever it is. Anyway, so I primed several of the pieces from that Batcave I showed earlier. Just white spray paint, as you recall. It was this color. Oh, I mean, these pieces were this color. Just a solid thing. This is what it looks like in solid white. And you can see that they actually put in a pretty good amount of detail in the sculpt, which at first I was like, why bother when you're going to make the whole thing just one solid color? That's kind of stupid. But then I realized how glad I was that they added those details in the sculpt, because if you repaint it, you actually get a pretty good looking piece. I mean, it's not like to scale for a display or anything, but if you have this set up in the background to some of your figures, it looks nice. I'm trying to get it under the light here. I just painted it like kind of a default brick pattern color with some gray and silver highlights. You know, made it look like a rundown, messy city area because, you know, you have broken bricks and stuff all over, kind of molded into the piece. So I don't know, I dig it. Painted the pipe silver and kind of the water tower thing on top. Right there is going to be that like gargoyle statue head thing that sticks out of here, whatever it is. So I'll repaint that and stick it on there. But I don't know, I like it. These things look pretty good when they actually get a proper paint job. Baffles me, boggles the mind why Mattel just didn't start with that, but instead we got that. Anyway, time for me to flip my dinner over here, I think. Let's go. Yes, yes, y'all, and you don't stop. This is a diorama that I've had as a work in progress for months and months. I wanted to do something that would show off these black and white Ninja Turtles that I've had for a long time. These are the NECA ones. They released 2 different versions of these turtles. Obviously there's the color ones, which I've had on display forever. Now these are the ones that I have not had on display for a long time for, you know, one reason or the other, whatever the case, space or just not really any place to put them. But I showed them to the young lady a long time ago, and she's just like, these are awesome. Why do you not have these, like, anywhere? I'm like, well, I mean, where do I put them? I'm going to have to, like, build a whole diorama just for them if I'm going to display them. And then kind of started sounding like a better and better idea, so I started doing that. And you can see I still got some work to do. Like, I want to do, like, a guardrail type thing on this catwalk. But I mean, I tried to emulate the style of the figure as much as possible. So you'll notice that the figures look like they're just drawn on white paper with like black outlines and, you know, black details and stuff to basically look like it's just pen on paper. And so to that effect, that's all I did. I made the diorama as white as I could possibly make it, and then I just edged on the details with black. And so far, I mean, it's coming along nicely, I think. Let me turn this light off just to kind of fill in the gaps over there so you can see a little better. But yeah, I mean, there's a few things that I wanted to emulate, like from the original comic stylings of like the 80s Mirage Ninja Turtles. So I don't know, I just think it's turning out really nice, and at some point here I want to finish it, and once I do, I plan on making like a full, just kind of a reveal video for it. But yeah, right now this is kind of what it's looking like. Let me know if you dig it.
That's crispy.